Don't see anything else here. There he goes, bonk.
Water's cold as hell. Come on, Witcher.
Oh, it's because there's a place of power just outside. And a plenty of stuff.
Come on already.
Yeah, I am back to digging the game. A sword for monsters. A witcher stripped of his monster-fighting sword is like a dwarf without a beard. Geralt's silver blade had flown off with the dragon just after their memorable encounter on the walls of Lavalette Castle, so our hero needed a new one. The best, though, certainly not. The only way to acquire one was to have it forged by the dwarf blacksmith who had a workshop in Flotsam's non-human district. With a silver sword in hand at last, Geralt's job became comparatively easier. Finally equipped like a witcher should be, our hero took to solving his own and others' problems with renewed energy. Indeed. Yep. Locations with Flotsam forests. Dangerous place, Dungeon of Lavalette Castle. Not a good place to be either. An archpriest with Arthur Tales. New boy, Triss Marigold. For those reasons, after Foltest's death, the sorceress decided that she would help the Witcher most by staying by his side. Not heeding her threatened position at court, she harnessed all her strength and powers to help in Geralt, whom she still had feelings to. Wonderful. Yeah. He dead, is what it's saying. Prime investigation. So these by all means work. Vernon Roche is now by all means working without official legislation from
Any
the
news
state.
from your secret informer?
The port's blocked. Some merchants are being held up for months.
What about roads through the forest?
Yorveth rules the forest.
Looting all of this. But also, let's check our attributes and our knowledge now. Abilities. We've got strong back for 50 more weight capacity because we carried Arian out of the
Can we
castle.
go?
Jesus Christ. Chill.
Let's move!
I'm moving as fast as you'll let me. The thing in the dungeon where we could in theory tell Roach to just
In a forest?
shut the fuck up. But
Who does it belong to?
Yorveth, maybe? I know more about the Pontar Valley than you think. For instance, I know that Foltest stole this land from Demavend a few years back.
we could have gone on about how we're not going to help you, Roach, and it would have resulted in us dying. There's a few moments like that where your choices don't really matter because you just lead to a game over in this game, but mainly here in the beginning, that one really is the only one that's, notable in the beginning. And it's also a weird thing when we're experimenting with that as a mechanic or a feature, and then just putting it in the front of the game because then everyone can see it. And talk about, oh shit, there's consequences if you just act like a shithead to someone in a greater position of power than you. But in any case, let's continue with the game. I also just bugged out the dialogue.
Hear that?
I smell an elf.
And I see an elf.
That's Vernon Roche, Special Forces Commander for the last 4 years, servant of the Temerian King, responsible for the pacification of the Mahakaman foothills, hunter of elves, murderer of women and children, twice decorated for valor on the field of battle.
Yorveth, a regular son of a whore.
I've long awaited our meeting. Laid plans, set traps, and now you appear in my forest of your own volition.
You aided the man who slew my king.
King or beggar, what's the difference? One Dwan less. A hired killer,
Oh,
true.
boy.
But in all certainty, he is no Dwan.
Don't make a big deal of the race thing.
Yet race is the very reason we fight. We have pointed ears, yours are rounded. We are few, yet long-lived. Your kind multiplies like vermin, though thankfully expires quickly. Humans and elves alike, trying to prove one shape is better than the other. 400 years of killing over the mold of the Oracle.
So what just happened there is sometimes the dialogue options will be timed, and here, without any warning, it just happens. Which of course makes sense. In the real world, you don't have time to just stand there for a good while and think. But because I clicked just a second, it was disappearing, auto-selecting one of them, it skipped forward to the next line. In the first game, you had to sort of press the spacebar, if I recall correctly, to skip forward. I don't know if the left mouse button did it, because there was never a situation where I'd accidentally click.
The Kingslayer's among you. We've come for him.
Then our interests collide. The Kingslayer is under my protection, and I'll not hand over a guest.
You're just another old elf in a young elf's skin, using clever words to mask an obvious truth.
Obvious, you say?
This is not about race or freedom, or even vengeance. You're here because someone powerful told you to be. Someone who's using you. They may wear a crown, carry a magic wand, or even lead a guild. But be sure of this. It's not about your freedom, your rights, or your ears. Nilfgaard plowed you once. Now someone new does. Am I wrong?
Those times are gone. No one will ever use the square tile again.
Who are you addressing? Me? Yourself? Or the archers in those shrubs?
Enough of this piss!
Starley!
Stars have gone warped.
That ought to discourage them. Triss, are you all right?
Lovely.
You should have charmed the archers. They're coming. Geralt, the spell's still working. Stay close.
What's happening?
Got the journal entry on your death. Let's read that. What here? Well, it's not that at the time when I had tales of a show of power just put on at the beach near Flotsam. Those who was weakened and badly conscious, the sorceress managed to sustain a magical barrier, and 3 survived. God, hilarious. Thanks for Vernon Roche. The list of Vernon Roche's achievements and heroic deeds was almost as long as the list of the atrocities and depravities he had allegedly committed along the way. It is a fact that, as the scroll links on the wall of the University of Oxford say, pacifying non-humans is like wallowing in mud. Everyone gets dirty, generally with blood. So he's, if we are to believe what Yorvath told us, or said, he's a killer of women and children, and all around a ruthless guy. Kind of people we've beat up and, well, stabbed to death in the past. We're in love with that. Yep. Kingslayer. Well, you read those in your own, and it's King Demavend is Edda, one killed by the Kingslayer in the introductory cutscene. What's your death? Common criminal, blah 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 blah. Freedom. Bunch of stuff going on.
Suspense, so no more butterflies. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Back to the boat?
There's even more of them that way. We must find our way towards Flotsam.
Get your hands off my ass. I'm not a sack of flour. I'm a man, son of a woman.
At least I'll die holding a lovely ass.
Not mine. I'll hold the spell.
Come on, let's go.
Yes, fine.
Sons of bitches.
What's happening? All I see are your boots.
Where the hell is that trading post? I'm starting to think we'll make it. Wait, the barrier's waning. Triss,
Be quick!
give me a bit more magic. Just a little. Geralt, kill them now!
Killing them very, very quickly. Of course, if the sword had the old properties it had in the first game, we'd be dealing 100% more damage,
Going and solid sacking!
and also pierce armor.
There's a mage among them! Ready yourselves!
You know each other?
Rather well. But he has amnesia. I actually took the Witcher by surprise when I killed Foltest. Fear not, Elf. I know Geralt. I know his weakness.
The plot thickens.
Too many spells at once. You can die from that.
See that?
Yeah, the Kingslayer and Yorvith.
You all in one piece? Who are you?
I'm a Witcher.
Emir var Emrys, spice merchant.
A trader?
In spices.
Uh-huh. And the woman?
My good man, we barely escaped death. Be so kind as to tell us where we might get some rest. We'll explain everything later.
Very well. Head for the market square. You might be in time for the execution. Some ne'er-do-wells are going to hang. A dwarf and some bard. There's also an inn and a brothel.
Oh yeah, the brothel sounds especially interesting. Take care now.
Another level up.
Spice merchant. Not likely.
Yeah. To cover. So, Vernon Roche's quote-unquote cover identity. Emir var Emrys, spice merchant. Well, Emir var Emrys is the Emperor of Nilfgaard. He's never traded in spices. But seeing that the guards did not really have the biggest issue with it, might be because they're in Temeria and he was wearing Temerian colours. Maybe that is a reason. Or maybe it's because we're so far out in the boonies that the equivalent would be going somewhere in, let's say, France, going undercover there, and someone asks you who you are, and your immediate response is Adolf Hitler, car salesman. And they don't really question it. And it's so dumb and it's so good. I love it. Let's see. Full vigor parrying will now reduce damage by 100%. Wonderful. And okay, we also get. No, we didn't. Let's see. Cover. Just some damage reduction. You can go wrong with damage reduction.
Sparrows are very warm.
Yorveth led them. I saw him with my own eyes.
Who are these
It
blokes?
seems the Kingslayer and Geralt have a past together, or at least, know each other. But he has amnesia, Geralt. So. One of the posters saw none other than Yorveth. Let's see what's there. Rachel Wharton set for calling me Karen, hated river beast. Interesting.
Oh no, I'm not talking to a freak.
Wait a minute.
Be off, or I'll call the guards.
I'll be damned.
People! The mutant's pursuing me!
Good way to introduce the fact that
I think the stew's ready.
he's bobbing like they did in the first game.
You might want to stir it.
See you at
Every issue I've had with this game so far again, well, it's all forgiven. And that guy's gone. What was I saying? Oh yeah, the persecution against humans and mutants. Let's see. An elf, a dwarf, and a man. And another elf.
Zoltan. Dandelion, my informer.
Just great.
What's the plan?
We improvise.
No killing.
We'll take care of this, Triss.
Geralt! Geralt! Over here! Help!
Find a way to free damn dinosaurs now. Yeah, we kind of don't want to let those guys die.
Step back, White One.
What are they going to hang for? They don't look dangerous.
The charge is collusion with the Scoia'tael.
Dandelion, an elven spy?
The bard's hanging for debauchery.
What?
The sentence was he's to hang for debauchery.
And a sentence is nothing to scoff at!
Are you serious? Listen here, people. Is profligacy now a punishable offense in the free kingdom of Temeria? Or are we in Nilfgaard?
Piss off, freak! Or you'll have me to deal with. Think of the common folk, you're spoiling their fun.
Well, a freak he may be, but he speaks true. Debauchery's one of my favourite pastimes, but I don't want a noose placed around my neck for pursuing it.
The soldier boys paid us a visit or two, though we didn't have much fun.
Away with you, Margot! Go back to your brothel!
Time to go? Fine. But hear this, people. He sure liked to parade about, but his willy wouldn't come to attention.
Stop the execution.
Shut your trap! The singer's to hang and he will hang. This is a decent town. Whores and witches notwithstanding.
Watch your words, guardsman! I don't know witches, but Margot's a decent woman!
Shut it, all of you! Or I'll not vouch for what I'll do.
Thinks he's tough, showing off his balls. Don't fret, people. I've seen the rot on them.
I'm warning you for the last time, Margot!
You wouldn't hit a lady.
You're no lady!
Leave the witcher be!
Want to squirm with the others? Get out! Oh, assaulted an officer!
This guy running the spot in the backyard.
Want to squirm with the others? Come on up! Got room for one more deviant! Look here out! Assaulted an officer!
We're gonna do something. Beat him up too. Of course, we're now distracting.
What the hell is going on here?
Look, law
I
enforcement.
said, what the arse fuck is going on? I'd like to report. Out of my sight, Clover. A few ploughing bandits and you can't even hang them. And you, stay calm, hands off your sword. Our scaffold embraces speeches and hangings. Which will it be?
Are you in command here?
Forgive me. Bernard Laredo, commander of Port Flotsam. Yes, I rule this brothel.
You have no right to hang them.
Interesting. Because I'm the law in Flotsam.
I take issue with that. Vernon Roche, officer of the king.
Well, well. Blue stripes. The non-human hunters.
Precisely. Anyone suspected of collaborating with the Scoia'tael falls under my jurisdiction.
And Dandelion? What's he accused of?
He burned down a watchtower. What's your jurisdiction say to that? I thought so.
Is that true?
It might have looked that way, but I swear it wasn't my fault.
I'd rather give you a thief. Relax. I'm joking. I hate thieves. We can put on another show. Bloody and serious this time, mind you. Or we can come to an understanding.
Meaning?
Give me a minute, would you? Listen here. You may have heard rumours of the tragic events that transpired during the siege of La Valette Castle. Sadly, they are true. King Foltest is dead. It's likely that Scoia'tael had a hand in this heinous murder. So you see, none of you can feel safe. That is why today, wagons with armaments will roll out into Flotsam streets. I hereby declare a state of emergency. Await orders. Prepare to fight. And ready yourselves to avenge your fallen king. Now disperse. Go to your homes.
So he wants to arm the peasants so that they can fight the non-humans. This is totally not gonna end in a riot at some point. Of course not. Christ, yeah. This guy, he's no good. He's an ass, a donkey, all means.
What about them? They'll not hang for now. Let's say I'm reconsidering their cases. The scaffold's no place for civil conversation. We'll talk at my home. Your friends are free for the time being, but they're not to leave town. Come after dusk. I'll be busy till then. There's one more thing. Welcome to Flotsam, Witcher.
They were really going to hang us. I don't know. I didn't mean to torch that watchtower.
Everything's all right, Dandelion. Let's get out of here.
Oh, we owe you, Geralt. Thank you. Time to hit the tavern. Come on, Dandelion, you need a stiff drink. And while we're at it, I'll tell you an edifying tale of local hypocrisy that conceals lechery neath a veneer of courtesy. Except nothing can hide the stench.
Raiders residence in the evening. And anything else going on? Bernard the Reader. By the gods. Chat with your friends at the tavern. That's always a good thing to do. You can highly recommend doing that every now and again with your own friends. For now, let's do it with them.
Might find something interesting here.
First, notices. Rodrigo contract, sure. NECA contract, sure. Okay. Troll contract. Miss Barbara waits. Okay, we'll just take all of it. Vernon Roche flexed his authority to, well, do some good at least. Of course it's to forward his own agenda, but who knows, maybe he is actually a decent fellow. Just chat with anyone.
Damn, that was close. Innkeep! Vodka!
Tris Marigold. Lice eat me, but you are a treat to behold. Just a little pale.
Magic takes its toll, but I'll be all right. Good to see you and your beard again.
Can somebody tell me what happened? You set off a month ago for Zoltan's wedding.
That got fucked. There will be no wedding.
Did you hear about Foltest?
Rumors travel faster than the wind.
Winds and rumors. I want to know the truth.
I want to know how Foltest died. And the dragon, was there really one there? And who rules Temeria now?
Dandelion, calm down. You'll choke on your liquor.
Let's start with the important stuff. Sultan and his wedding.
No wedding, Zoltan.
The Breckenrigs broke off the engagement because some limp prick put it about that I joined the uprising in Vizima. My would-be pop-in-law refused to let a rebel firebrand join the family. Innkeep, where's our drink?
It was like this. We got to Mahakam a week after the Grand Master died. Bought Zoltan an absolutely grand doublet, a pair of Garibaldi Krakows, and as a gift for Eudora, a jade stone as big as my fist.
You were broke as a joke by the time Dandelion threw me a bachelor party at an establishment called the Tight Lane.
Next day, we went over to the Breckenriggs. They welcomed us in, sat us down, and proceeded to discuss the superiority of Mahakaman mining know-how over any other. And that went on until dinner. Just when I thought I'd learned more than I ever wanted to know about mining, they served the soup.
You could have held a pin drop. Old Breckenridge rose and he says, "A real dwarf works a mine, not chases fame on the battlefield."
You'll never believe this, Geralt, but they served duck blood soup. It was as black as tar. They must have dropped lumps of coal into the pot.
"Eat," Breckenridge says, then proceeded to slop 2 full bowls of the shite. Old goat. Hope his mind caves in on his head.
Some stuff has been going on for the past month, since we last saw these people in the first game.
Laredo said you're working with the Scoia'tael, Zoltan.
I have done many things in my life, Geralt, but I have never stooped to banditry.
The Scoia'tael don't consider themselves bandits.
But I am no Scoia'tael.
That's always uplifting.
Since when have you worked for Roche?
Hey, nobody said a word when you went out to save Temeria from the Grand Master and his mutants.
Relax, Dandelion. I was just asking. Do what you want. You're an adult, kind of.
That wasn't very supportive.
Laugh away. At least I decided to do something constructive.
You used to spy for Redania. Now you're spying for Temeria. Some might call you a traitor.
Ever tried to live off of poetry alone? The truth is, I'm a citizen of the world. As long as I don't serve Emperor Emir, I'm not doing any harm.
Even me, Geralt. You play the spy a bit, get bored and drop it. You know how he is.
I'm enjoying the constant, or kind of constant digs at Nilfgaard. Because after all, it's only 5 years, roughly 5 years, since the Second War with Nilfgaard, which was only a year or two later of the first massive war with Nilfgaard. And in general, Nilfgaard is just a bad place to be. I mean, they are the bad guys. We can't argue against that because it's objective truth.
The dragon. Well, the dragon appeared, and that's all I know.
But where did the La Villettes get a dragon? We heard it fought on their side, huge as a barn, they say.
Dragons don't usually take sides. Maybe its lair was nearby and it just felt threatened.
If you hadn't driven it off, Foltest might not have taken the castle.
Maybe. We'll never know for sure.
Slight notching of national pride and whatever from Triss. Because, I mean, she might want to keep using Geralt for some political gain. I don't know. Worked great for her in the first game. But now he's getting told about Yennefer and he's remembering stuff. And while Geralt referred to their old relationship as a toxic relationship, well, I can definitely see what they mean by that. But at the same time, look at this guy. Look at Geralt. He's not, and think about what he's just so far been going through, but just in this game alone, and also the first game, and the books and so on, he's not a stable guy. Not really. He might want to be a stable guy, but we'll never know if he'll actually be able to pull that off.
Triss, you're the expert on Temeria. Tell us who's in charge now.
It's chaotic and getting worse. The old families are fighting for supremacy, no holds barred.
Baron Kimbolt and Count Marivel, I bet.
Among others. After the assassination, while Geralt was in the dungeon, the lords convened in a field near La Villette Castle to choose a new ruler. 3 days they debated, and it looked more like a bazaar than a meeting of nobles. Except the trade was in court and ministry positions, spheres of influence, royal privileges.
Humans.
In spite of several duels and 2 poisonings, no king was chosen. Civil war was in the air.
Where were the mages?
Aye. Where were the grey eminences of this world when they were truly needed?
They weren't invited. Neither was I. But if not for their intervention, or rather that of a few influential sorceresses, Baron Kimball would have taken the throne.
I was invited to sing at his court once. Afterwards, he refused to pay me, and the food was awful. No way I'll stay in Temeria if he's crowned.
And few influential sorceresses, most likely the Lodge, meaning they also stand to gain if Baron Kimball and Count Maribel don't get reign over Temeria. So that's interesting, and I suppose we should keep this written behind our ears for a later point.
Did they ultimately resolve anything?
No, it ended as usual. Sadly, John Natalis remains our only hope.
Ah, the victor at Brenna, and Foltest's most tried and true field commander.
During the deliberations, he was several days' march from Lavalette lands, with an additional 2,000 armed men in tow. He's to keep the peace until a rightful monarch is chosen.
He could find that ruling is to his liking.
Natalis is a soldier at heart. He's not suited to rule, and I don't believe he even wants to.
He's got the army behind him.
Which is why he can guarantee peace. Why, a tenuous one, sure, but that's always better than civil war. Besides which, he's deeply in debt to a dwarven bank in which Philippa Eilhart as sorceress holds significant stake.
Lots of names, lots of stuff, lots of politics. So, yeah, The Witcher, everyone.
I think I've heard enough about politics. Foltest's killer lay in wait in the tower where the Lavalettes had hidden the royal bastards. He was well informed.
Wait a minute, what were you doing there?
I was protecting the king. After the first attempt, Foltest began treating me as his lucky charm. He ordered me to be at his side during the battle. The dragon separated us from the rest of the army. The killer disguised himself as a monk, a blind one at that. He let Foltest greet his children, waited until I had walked off, and cut the king's throat from ear to ear.
How did he flee?
Jumped out a window into the river below. Yor with Skoyatel were waiting in a boat. It was planned.
And you're chasing him because he murdered the king?
I was accused of the murder. I need to clear my name. Besides, I looked him in the eye before he escaped. He's a witcher. Then some brave Temerian soldiers showed up, piled on me, and knocked me out.
Save yourselves, good folk! The beast attacks!
We better get out there. Someone's casting spells.
What's with that Karen?
What sort of sorceress are you? A lot of good you did. Can't you hear me? Why didn't you help him?
He's alive, isn't he?
The beast nearly pulled him in the water while you stood staring like a calf at a shit-covered clover.
Watch your words.
Where's this beast?
Ask her.
Geralt.
Ah, I guess we knew each other.
Oh, look here. Birds of a feather.
Let's say I've heard of you.
Master Witcher, this is foolish. The beast near pulled Sozek into the depths, and you're simply chatting with this damsel.
All right. What happened?
I came to Flotsam to kill the Karen,
Karen?
the monster that has effectively blocked the port. A moment ago, I had the good fortune to see it in all its splendor, but the local folk scared it away.
Good fortune? You hear that, Sozek? That was some good fortune for you.
Why's the beast in the port all of a sudden, eh? Summoned by the witch, perchance?
To see it in all its splendor.
Oh boy. Local peasants. The true joy of the world.